Hi everyone, my name's Cheyenne Barr and I'm on a mission to help people become better self-regulated learners. So whether it's for yourself as an individual or you're a teacher and you want to help your students better self-regulate, one of the best ways that we can actually help others self-regulate themselves as learners is to actually model self-regulated learning ourselves. And so I wanted to share a strategy that you can install yourself or you can teach to your students. I'm a big advocate for mindfulness and meditation because a body of research has demonstrated that engaging in regular meditation or mindfulness exercises can actually enhance the way we regulate, particularly emotions, but we can also regulate our attention better. And we know attention is such a key resource in this sort of information age, in this cognitive economy. And so being able to better regulate your attention is going to be core. It's going to be critical to how well you can engage in learning, right? So here's a strategy. I actually installed this strategy when I was teaching full time. I installed a very short meditation first thing in the morning when I woke up. Now the reason I did that was because I was so busy at work and reasonably stressed. I recognized that my body, my brain was just kind of quite wired, and so I wasn't sleeping very well at the time, and I needed to do something to change that. I wanted to sleep better, and I didn't think it was having a great effect for my colleagues and for my students in the way that I was showing up at work. And so what I did was, when I woke up in the morning, I knew my brain was wired, and my brain sort of, and perhaps you share the same kind of pain, is that when you wake up first thing in the morning, once you wake up a little bit, your brain actually starts to tick at a very quick rate. And what I mean by that is that, here's an example. When I wake up and once I've sort of got out of the grogginess of sleep, my brain starts kind of going into planning mode, and it starts thinking about all the things that I have to do for the day. It starts worrying about things that need to be done or that haven't been done, or the list that's just getting longer and longer. And so I needed to, this was many years ago, I needed to shut that down. I needed to slow that process down. And so I installed a short mindfulness exercise. Now, what that was originally for me changed over time, but right now it looks like a 15-minute block where I actually engage in a short mindfulness meditation exercise. It can be anything that you like. So, if you're a fan of guided meditations, there are ample apps. There's so many apps, etc. But actually installing, and it doesn't have to be that long. It could be 3 minutes, 4 minutes. Like I said, mine's 15 minutes. I've gone through periods where I've engaged in 30 minutes or 40 minutes. That's not for everyone, but I think 15 minutes is my sweet spot. I think you've got to find your own sweet spot there with the activity. So I'll actually put a link to a YouTube video that I use quite regularly as the sort of sounds. So it's not actually a video, it's just a sound track I use for my meditation every morning. But the benefit of that is, once I come out of that 15-minute meditation in the morning, my brain has gone from kind of this reactive planning to a much more intentional, proactive planning. Okay, and it means that I can live my day with a lot more intention. Okay, and it means that I'm not reactive now, not to the environment. I'm not even reactive to my own brain. I've got some sort of conscious awareness, and there's kind of a slowing down, which means that I can make clearer decisions, make better choices, and therefore I start to get better outcomes for me and my team that I work with. So morning meditation, for me, it's first thing when I wake up. I get out of bed, go to the bathroom, etc., and then I head downstairs. I just sit on the floor. That's just something I feel comfortable with, but you could do it while you go for a walk if you a bit more of a moving meditation. I know some people have done it lying down. I'm not one for lying down. I prefer to sit up because it just creates a level of awakeness. Whereas if I'm lying down, perhaps there's a concern that I might fall back asleep. If you want to up level that practice, I actually always carry a little moleskin notebook. So, have this handy with you when you're meditating in the morning. What I find is that sometimes if my brain's super, super active, or there's something that I think of that I really want to hold on to, if I don't write it down, I'll end up trying to sort of repeat it over and over again until the 15 minutes is up, and then I'll write it down. And so it completely jolts the kind of the flow of the meditation. So I think you're best to kind of hit pause on the meditation, or even just open your eyes, grab your notebook, write it down, and then release that thought from your mind and create more mental space. Essentially what we're trying to do is kind of reduce the cognitive load on our working memories and create more mental space so that you can actually sit in that presence, sit in that awareness that comes with meditation or mindfulness. Okay, so have a notebook and a pen handy when you're sitting in your meditation. I find that it's definitely a way to up level it. If this is a strategy that you think could benefit you or your students, of course, it'll look different in classrooms. Smiling Mind, particularly here in Australia, a very popular app, and it's free for educators, and so you can access that. But there is a range of other activities that you could do with students in this form. So you just have to modify and adapt it for the classroom. But think about that. Give it a crack. If you find value in it, please save it. Make sure you revisit this video and you can tweak it as you go. And of course, share it with 3 other friends, learners, educators to help spread the message around self-regulated learning.